In the quiet town of Maranpur, where dusty winds danced through narrow streets and the call to prayer echoed gently across the rooftops, lived a young man named Ion. To everyone in the town, Ion had always been a symbol of calmness. He smiled easily, worked hard in his small shop, and greeted everyone with respect. People thought his life was simple and peaceful. But one year changed everything. A sudden fire broke out in the market at night. Flames rose high into the sky, swallowing shops one by one. When Ion ran to the market, the sight froze his heart. His shop, the place he had built with years of hard work, was gone. Burned to ash. There was nothing left except black smoke and charred wood. For a moment, Ion felt his knees weaken. That shop had been his only source of income. His parents depended on him. His younger sister was studying because of his support. Everything he had built had vanished in one night. It felt like the ground under him had disappeared. In the days after the fire, Ion walked through life like a man carrying invisible weight. Friends tried to comfort him, but their words fell like stones on a broken heart. Bills kept coming. Money kept decreasing. Nights became long and sleepless. One evening, when the sun dipped behind the hills, Ion sat alone near the burnt remains of his shop. A little girl from the neighborhood, Sana, approached him. She used to buy candies from his shop daily. She looked at him with innocent eyes and said, "Why don't you smile now? You always smiled before." Ion felt tears burn his eyes. "Because life fell apart, Sana," he whispered. Sana sat beside him and replied with surprising wisdom, "My teacher says when something breaks, Allah gives us a chance to build something better. Maybe He wants you to smile again, but stronger." These simple words touched Ion deeply. Children sometimes see what adults forget. That night, Ion made a small decision: he would not give up. He didn't know how he would rebuild his shop, but he promised himself that he would at least try. Even trying would be better than drowning in sadness. The next morning, he woke up early and prayed Fajr with a heavy but hopeful heart. Afterward, he visited the mayor's office to request financial help. The mayor listened kindly but explained that the government support would take months. Ion walked out disappointed, but he reminded himself of the promise he made last night. He started doing small jobs, loading goods in trucks, repairing bicycles, delivering parcels. It was tiring work, and he earned only a little, but he didn't give up. Every rupee he earned went into a small metal box hidden under his mattress. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. People in Maranpur noticed something admirable. Though life had knocked him down, Ion kept standing. Slowly, respect for him grew. Neighbors began buying from him whenever he sold small handmade things. Friends brought used items for him to resell. His sister offered to pause her studies, but he refused firmly. "Your education is my strength," he told her. "When life falls apart, we don't stop living. We rebuild." One afternoon, while Ion was delivering packages, an old man stopped him outside a large house. "Are you the young man who lost his shop in the fire?" the old man asked. "Yes," Ion replied politely. "I've heard about your hard work and patience," the man said. "I need someone honest to manage my small warehouse. The salary isn't very high, but I can promise stability." Ion's heart warmed. It wasn't a shop, but it was a start, a strong start. He accepted the offer. Working at the warehouse brought him new skills. He learned about inventory, business management, and customer needs. He saved more money than before. Slowly, he started dreaming again, not of the old shop he lost, but of a better one. Over the next year, with the old man's guidance, Ion felt himself transforming. Pain had carved strength inside him. Failure had taught him discipline. Loss had brought him wisdom. One evening, the old man called him into his office. "You remind me of myself when I was young," he said with a gentle smile. "I want to help you open your shop again." Ion stared in disbelief as the man placed an envelope full of money on the table. "But why would you do this for me?" Ion asked. The old man replied, "Because you didn't give up when life tried to break you. A person who keeps going deserves every chance to rise." Tears filled Ion's eyes. Gratitude washed over him like rain on dry soil. A stronger shop, a stronger man. With the old man's support, Ion rebuilt his shop, bigger, brighter, stronger. When it opened, all of Maranpur came to celebrate. Children ran inside excitedly. Adults congratulated him and praised his persistence. Sana, the little girl, stood proudly in the front and said, "See. Allah helped you build something better." Ion smiled, the kind of smile that comes from a heart that survived storms. He realized something powerful. Strength isn't about never falling, it's about rising every time you fall. Courage isn't about having no fear, it's about walking through fear. Life will break you, but it will also teach you how to rebuild. His shop wasn't just a business anymore. It was a symbol of resilience for everyone in the town. People began coming to him for advice whenever they faced hardship. He shared the lessons he had learned. When life falls apart, breathe, don't panic. Accept what happened, acceptance brings peace. Start small, small steps lead to big victories. Ask for help, strength is not silence. Have faith, Allah never leaves a heart that tries. The message of Ion's journey years later. Ion often stood at his shop door during sunset, watching the sky turn golden. Life had tested him, but those very tests had shaped him into someone wiser and stronger. He no longer feared losing everything, because he knew he had the courage to rebuild anything life tried to take. And whenever someone asked him how to stay strong when life falls apart, Ion would smile softly and say, "Life breaks us so we can discover the strength we never knew we had."